can I say? It's fantastic.
What did you just say?
It's fantastic.
No, it's not, you idiot. God! FANT4STIC, released in 2015, and is directed kind of by Josh Trank, who's also behind such films like Chronicle and Capone, and I know at one point in his career was in talks to direct one of the new Star Wars films after it was purchased by Disney, but after the release of this movie, of course, that never happened. And this film is starring Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, Kate Mara, Jamie Bell, Toby Kebbell, Reggie Cathy, and Tim Blake Nelson. Even as a young kid, Reed Richards has always been fascinating in the ability to teleport one thing to the other side of the planet. Well, in his high school science fair, he is able to demonstrate that he is able to teleport something from this planet to another dimension. And he's recruited by Franklin Storm to work for the Baxter Foundation to help them build a legit transportating device so that they can teleport human beings over there for reasons. And after completion and getting drunk one night, some of them end up over in the other dimension, they fuck around and find out, and boom, they end up with the standard Fantastic Four powers. And then boom, 1 year later, everything goes to shit. FANT4STIC. Oh boy, I dreaded having to watch this because I knew that the Fantastic Four film, the Fantastic Four First Steps, would eventually be released, and I was holding off on reviewing all the Fantastic Four films because I wanted to do it when that film was finally coming out, and here we are, finally getting to watch this film again. Probably never will watch it ever again, but yeah, this is widely known as one of the most hated superhero films out there, if not one of the most hated films ever released. And I definitely understand why. There's a lot of reasons here for someone going into this movie and walking out very pissed off. And hell, not just the people paying to go see this thing, the people that actually worked on this movie have every right to be upset with what the studio and what the director did. There had been reports that Josh Trank was not very professional in his directing style when he was directing original production of this film, and then eventually the studio heads saw what they were getting, didn't like what they were getting from the director, so they basically locked him out of the editing room and locked him out basically of the studio altogether, and they mandated that all the actors come back and do a whole bunch of reshoots so that they can turn this film into a generic superhero beam shooting up into the sky type superhero movie. And the professionalism of the director and the reception of this film was so bad. I remember at this time, for Kevin Smith's podcast, Fat Man on Batman, he actually had Josh Trank on there, and he was going to do a 4-part interview series that was like 2 hours long each episode, talking about his backstory and where he comes from and films that he has worked on. I remember listening to the first 3 episodes of that series, and then the 4th episode was going to be focused all on the Fantastic Four, the movie that was coming out, the reason why he was doing it, and he was promoting it. That episode never aired. That episode never came out. That's how bad this movie was. Kevin Smith was like, yeah, no, I'm not putting that on my show. Which is weird to say because it's Kevin Smith. He likes all superhero things because he's just a fanboy like you and me. And for him to do that, that's saying something. Now, I am going to be objective here. There are things that I do appreciate and that I do enjoy about this movie. The first hour of this film, I don't think is terrible. Is it good? Is it, what's that word again? Fantastic? God, no. But I always admire the effort for any writer to take something that is widely known and has a history that really the whole world knows because they've been around for so long, reinventing that origin story. So I do appreciate the attempt of showing what a young kid Reed Richards would have been like, and how he establishes his relationship with Ben Grimm, and how he gets a scholarship to work at the Baxter Foundation. I'm actually thinking this is okay. And then Von Doom comes in from Latveria, even though it's clearly he's not. I remember as this film was coming out, there were rumors that Von Doom was listed as like an internet troll or like a cyberbully of some kind. God. Oh god, this movie's gonna be shit. But it turns out that he was just a expelled student from this foundation, but because Reed Richards is now here, they're like, we need you back because you were so damn good. Could you just, be in line with everything, please? And then they bring in Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm because he can build things and he's really, really good at it. Which leaves Sue Storm, and the reason why she's here, well, she's here to make the outfits. Because, women and things. Okay, I will be honest. Once you find out what her role in this overall story is, that's where it starts going downhill. I'm sorry. And the whole decision for them to do the interdimensional travel while they're drunk, like they're able to do that's just incredible for me. But, we go along with it. And then Sue gets her powers because she is connected. She doesn't even go over to the dimension with them. She stays back here and just listens on her headphones and gets injected somehow through the electronics. And that's how she gets her powers. We don't care. We don't care about the women characters in this movie at all. But I do enjoy the aspect of when they do end up getting their powers, they come back from that altered dimension and they're strapped down on gurneys. They're in these prison cells because the scientists, the military who are there, they don't know how to treat them. This person wakes up, Johnny Storm wakes up, and he is just completely on fire. He doesn't know how to turn it on or off. And this film briefly, but it does, explore the horrors in waking up with these magical abilities. And I really love that take. I really love that idea and take on the Fantastic Four when these guys wake up and his arm is just stretched out. He wakes up and he's this big rock monster. She wakes up and she can't see herself. That's a horror story. That is a horror film. And that is a very fascinating idea that they don't explore at all in this movie. They have what could have been a gem of a story, a gem of a movie. But then they flash the words 1 year later on the screen, and my reaction is, oh no. This is where you can tell all of the reshoots and all of the re-editing and everything happened, where they wanted to turn this into just a generic superhero film. And you can tell it's all the reshoots, especially whenever Sue Storm is on screen. This is the person who just got it the worst out of this entire movie. Kate Mara, she got it the worst. There are shots where she has her natural dirty blonde hair that's about shoulder length, all from the original production, of course. But then in the same scene, it'll cut away and then cut back to her, and she has longer hair, magically, that is completely Ric Flair bleached blonde. And then it'll cut away again and cut back to her, and she's back to her natural dirty blonde coloring. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, and by the way, in between these cuts, the character that they were showing on screen, they cut away, but they're still talking. Clearly they're doing some ADR tricks to forward the story in the direction that they wanted to take it, not the direction that they originally were going to go. Reed is on the run, and he manipulates his face, stretches it so that he can not be found, which is one of... It's one of the worst CGI effects I've ever seen. And then we get a confrontation between Reed Richards and Ben Grimm, who is now this orange rock thing. And it's clear that Ben hates Reed for what he did to him, bringing him over, getting all drunk, and going over to this dimension where he ends up being this ugly-ass monster. And again, there is potential for a beautiful, conflicted story there between the two that they don't go into at all. They just wrap it up. They just want to be done with this movie and not think about it again, because then all of a sudden in the end, they're like, hey, buddy, gosh, it's long road from the garage, right? Oh, buddy, old pal, it's fantastic. I don't think there's ever been so blatant of a just hands up in the air, I give up, I don't give a shit about this film at all, from producers and from studio heads that I've ever seen in a film before. There are stories out there of films being reshot and changed, and oh, it's not the director's cut, but it's the studio cut. There have been so many stories of that, but I don't think it's been as obvious of the giving upness that happens with this movie from when Reed Richards escapes the compound and those words 1 year later flash on this screen. It's a completely different movie, which again, I think is such a waste because I think there is a gem of a story in here. This cast, I think, could work well. Hell, you know what? It would be really cool to see these versions show up in, like, Avengers Secret War. They're doing the whole multiverse thing now. Why not just show these characters briefly? Michael B. Jordan, I mean, he's already part of the MCU. Why not bring them in and then just immediately kill them off, just to lay to rest this franchise and this version of these characters? I think that'd be a fun moment. I know that they wanted to do that for Deadpool 2. They were very close to bringing them in for when Deadpool had his magical time watch and he was going from place to place and shooting old versions of himself and himself for reading the script Green Lantern. I know they wanted to do this version of the Fantastic Four where he comes in and he pops them all. You could do that for Secret Wars, or hell, you could do that for Doomsday, whatever. I think there is potential for a little joke to be had at this film's expense. I really hope it happens because I think, again, there is a gem of a movie here. We just don't see it, and we definitely don't get it. I'm gonna give FANT4STIC 1 out of 5 Blu-rays.
What? No!
So guys, if you've seen FANT4STIC, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I'm releasing next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.